Hello there, all you hardcores, all you trolls, and all you casuals. It's Big Porky here from Doncaster. I'm just in the middle of my Sunday dinner. Bit of mash, bit of mashed up sprouts and broccoli, and bit of mincemeat, because I can't get solids down me still. 5.5 years later, I'm still not on solids. Not good, is it? But 16 stone 4 I'm down to. So I've got exactly 52 pound to go in weight, which I will knock off in the next year, and then you'll see Big Porky looking the business. Carl Frotch has got to spar me when I get down to my target weight. When he agreed to that, when I was 28 stone, he probably thought, oh my god, he's never going to do it. Well, I've done it, kid. I'm another year away, nice and steady, I'll get there. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put on a conversation between Frank Warren and Barry Hearn. Both were big heroes of mine back in the day. I've got a soft spot for Bazza. I think he's a character. I like what he's done with snooker, pool. Frank Warren, I respect him for what he did in the 90s, but basically I think he's yesterday's man as regards boxing. I think the future is Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman. I think they're the future. I think Frank is a fighter. Like I said, I respect him. He always looks smart. He's very shrewd. But Frank can't scream and shout about Barry Hearn milking the Joshua cow, because he did it with Calzaghe. 22 title fights at super middleweight. 8 of them were champions. Only 2 of them were current champions. 6 were former champions. The other 14 was shockers, and I mean shockers as in shockers. They wouldn't get away with that nowadays. Enzo Maccarinelli, Ricky Burns, Nathan Cleverly, they all went the WBO route. They fought shockers. Anthony Yard, WBO route, shockers. Barry Hearn, 19 WBO title wins with Christopher Eubank. Only 3 were former world champions. 1 was a current champion, Nigel Benn, at middleweight. The other 3 were former champions. He had 15 shockers. So they're both as bad as each other back in the day. Eddie Hearn, I think he's not much different to his dad, but he's in a different era, and Eddie can't get away with shockers. So here's the phone conversation, and judge for yourselves. All right. Here we go. Let me press. Here we are. Go.
What happens next? Let's get some reaction. Frank mentioned Barry Hearn, and we can talk to him. He's the chairman of Matchroom, the fight promoters. Barry, morning.
Good morning.
What did you think of your man last night?
I was impressed, very impressed. Very mature, a very methodical, and then very brutal finish. Obviously, we all know Anthony Joshua has got a terrific boxing brain. I think they prepared well, and they executed their plan. Povetkin is a very dangerous fighter. We knew that he's not number 3 in the world for nothing, and I was quite concerned early doors, because I thought Povetkin looked very dangerous. He can punch, awkward style, but a professional fighter. But Anthony dealt with everything and put in front of him, as he always does, and I was very, very happy with the evening's work.
Yeah, and as always, I mean, a couple of stone, 4 inches heavy, and obviously 10 years, you can't do anything about the aging, but usually the bigger guy always wins, doesn't he? Normally.
Yeah, of course, but I think that's not what they said about Mike Tyson and people like that.
No,
there's been,
that's the point. I suppose he was a bit of an exception, though, wasn't he, Tyson?
No. Listen, it's about your ability in the ring. Povetkin been beaten once and been in with a lot of big guys and fought at a very high level. So I wouldn't deny Povetkin the respect of what his career has given him and the achievements he's had. But Joshua is the world's #1 heavyweight, and you expect him to win every fight if you're #1, and if you're not, you don't become #1, do you?
No, absolutely. So now, what next? Deontay Wilder, the WBC champion, it's been confirmed in the last 24 hours that he's going to fight Tyson Fury in America, and Frank Warren, who arranged that's on the line. So let me get, first of all, before we bring Frank in, a reaction to that December the 1st fight, Barry.
Well, I mean, great. It's a good fight. I think it's something that will get people's attention, and like everything else, I mean, as I think Anthony said last night so clearly, is that we focus on ourselves, and obviously Anthony wants to fight the best out there. So I think it's a great fight for boxing. I think it's a little early, bless him, for Tyson, but I understand his reasoning, and it's shrewd business. I suppose if Tyson Fury gets beat by Deontay Wilder, he could probably still come back and fight Anthony Joshua, whereas if it was the other way round, he couldn't. So that's 2 for the price of 1. Very good. I look forward to it. I think Deontay Wilder's a big favourite.
Well, stay on the line if you would, because Frank Warren joins us. Frank, so all the paperwork signed, it's definitely happening December the 1st, yeah?
It is, and there'll be Deontay and his team will be in London Monday week, and we'll be starting the first leg of the press tour, which are taking New York, LA, and there's one other city which hasn't been decided yet.
Yeah. If Wilder lost as the champion, is there a rematch clause in the contract for him to fight Fury again before any other contest?
I can't give you the details of the contract.
Why not?
Because I just told you. But the situation is very clear. The winner of that fight, and Anthony Joshua, is a big fight, and nothing will stand in the way of that happening. I believe that Tyson Fury will be the winner. As Barry just said, that's a big fight, so why on earth would anybody want to stand in its way?
No, all I was merely thinking that if Fury won and Wilder as the champion lost, Wilder, if I was his manager, I'd say have a rematch contract in there, and so that might scupper an immediate fight with Joshua, if you see the point I'm making.
No, I absolutely do see the point, but I think everybody's sensible enough to make sure that the big fights happen, and there are ways to make things happen. So I don't believe that anything will stop that fight from happening. The only people who can stop it from happening is Anthony Joshua's people.
So, Barry Hearn, you say?
Well, with all respect, total rubbish. #1, there's got to be a rematch clause, obviously, because there's no way Deontay Wilder is going to risk his WBC title without a rematch clause, unless his management has changed, because his management are actually quite sensible. So, look, there's no rush. I mean, I think Frank would agree that you don't rush anything in boxing. We've got a fighter here who's 22 fights, the world #1 heavyweight. There's no rush whether he fights Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury later on. I mean, we're not going away from this world. In an ideal world, we have a plan. If the ideal world doesn't work out, we have another plan, and we run a proper business at a proper time. But I know Anthony has made his shopping list of who he would prefer to fight next, and that is Deontay Wilder. But it doesn't mean to say the deal can be done, because you don't just go into any meeting and say, I want to fight you, I'll agree any terms. Anthony's planning a 6, 7, 8 year career. It doesn't end on April the 13th. It's just another day of a journey of Anthony Joshua's career.
Frank?
Well, that tells you all you need to know. They don't want to fight. If they wanted to fight Wilder, they would have fought him yesterday. That's what would have happened. They didn't want to fight him. It's as simple as that. They turned down a $50 million offer, and that's why we're making the fight. The facts of the matter are the public want the fight, Sam. They want the winners to fight, want to see who's the best. Yeah, and I respect what Barry says, because he's an accountant. That's his mentality. What does he want to kill the golden goose for? The public want to see the best fighting the best. And the 3 best heavyweights out there are Anthony Joshua, Wilder, and Tyson Fury. So the bottom line is 2 of them are fighting. The lineal champions fighting the WBC champion, both undefeated. The winner of that should fight Anthony Joshua next April. Why shouldn't that happen?
Barry?
Great. great if it happens. We want to fight Wilder. We've sent Wilder a signed contract to fight on April the 13th already.
You'll be fighting Tyson Fury.
Yeah, but he's fight. No, we will agree a term with Deontay Wilder to fight on April the 13th if he beats Tyson Fury. If he doesn't beat Tyson Fury, I believe we've got to look around because we've got a business to run. We want to deliver the fights people want. That's why we do the biggest shows in the world.
The public don't want to see Anthony Joshua against Tyson Fury.
But Tyson Fury will not be in a position, in my view, Frank.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's just cut for
If he is, I'd love to see it.
Well, let me tell you, that's my problem to sort out. But let's assume that he is in that position. Is the fight going to happen? Is the fight going to happen?
Yeah, I can't do that because I can't assume that you're telling me the truth. I don't believe he is going to be in a position to do that.
That's not what I asked. Whether you're saying whether you believe it or not, what I'm saying to you, if he's in that position.
There's no question. If Tyson in a world
then
where...
that's up to me to deliver that, isn't it? So
I'm
pleased to hear that you have stated publicly, if he's in the position, we'll make the fight. That's all we want to know.
Of course, and it's like everything else, Frank, as you know, it's subject to terms.
Well, it shouldn't be a problem, should it? The lineal champion, who's now the WBC. The lineal champion is the WBC.
We're not on Radio 5, and this is very poor form to be negotiating in the public arena. I don't do that. Radio 5 should know better. But we will agree to
so the public understand why fights don't happen.
Gentlemen, let me as the referee just step in here, and what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm just going to be the referee here.
On national radio to try and agree terms for a commercial fight. You should know better, and Radio 5 should be ashamed of itself.
Hang on 1 second, Barry.
He has nothing else to pull.
Hang on 1 second, Barry. We did ask you whether you would talk to Frank Warren, so don't say Radio 5 should be... So, Barry, would you just bear with us for 1 second? I'm going to let you have your say. Can you just tell us, in a nutshell, what you see the situation as, Barry, please?
Wilder or Tyson Fury, subject to terms on April the 13th, without a problem in the world.
Okay, and Frank, let's get a little response from you.
I'm absolutely delighted that Barry's just said. So there you go, people who are listening. The winner will fight Anthony Joshua. You heard it from the chairman.
Subject to terms, because you will ask for a ridiculous amount of money and it won't be made. But let's try to talk about it anyway.
It'll be very simple. It's a 50-50 deal.
No, it's not 50-50 split against the number one heavyweight in the world. You can forget that completely.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you coming on. I'm only sorry we couldn't have done a pay-per-listen deal for 5 like that. Barry, thank you very much for coming on the programme.
Good, it won't be happening again, thank you.
Okay, Frank, thank you very much as well.
Well, I hope I'm on the programme again.
Yeah, we'll invite you back. Kevin, a reaction to that, and as I say, I will make the point that we said to Barry Hearn before he came on the air, he was on, and my producer said they were happy to talk.
Gary, I think I need a cup of tea, mate, after that. Look, I think that discussion was more about the way that Frank and Barry feel about each other, which is clear, and that's been a career-long entertainment for most of us in this business. But they both made their positions clear, and it'll come down to the nitty-gritty. Already, Frank's thrown in the 50-50 and Barry's saying forget it, so there's the first tension for a start. But it might not be Frank's decision to make if Wilder does as I expect anyway, and does the business in December.
Well, there's been angry reaction from athletes and sporting organisations this week to the decision by WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, to reinstate Russia's anti-doping agency. They've been suspended since it was revealed that they helped around 1,000 athletes to cheat. Kevin, your view on that story?
Yeah, no, universal disappointment about that. It seems like the Commission, we talk about the McLaren report and the conditions that were laid down for the return of the Russians, their own anti-doping agency, have not quite been met, and there's been a softening of the stance of WADA, which is hugely disappointing for everybody concerned.
Well, I spoke to Margarita Paknotska of the Russian drug agency to ask what they've done to convince WADA they should be reinstated.
I can confirm and I can definitely say that our new anti-doping agency that was absolutely reformed and changed since 2016, working at full wing, covering all functional areas and providing national anti-doping policy as every anti-doping agency in every country of the world.
But how can you actually convince people that you are now operating a clean system?
I think in that case, deed not words can confirm people all over the world, in sporting community and in any others. I think some time should pass before people will see themselves that we are working as we should.
It was generally believed that your organisation helped 1,000 athletes to cheat. So just a yes or no to this question. Did you actually help 1,000 athletes to cheat?
No.
How many?
I'm sorry?
How many then did you help to cheat?
So that is not the question is not to the present day Rosada.
I appreciate that, but just to answer the question that I'm asking you now, how many people did you help to cheat? That is my question. Would you please give me the figure?
I just no figure because nothing.
Right, so you won't answer that question. Tell our listeners and the rest of the world, if you would, why now you will no longer do things that you shouldn't be doing, why your organisation is a clean organisation.
It's absolutely different people. We have absolutely new team that were recruited with the help of international experts appointed by WADA to work in Rosada, me personally and the rest of the team in every department.
Well, let's speak to Jenny Meadows, who won a bronze medal at the European Indoor Athletic Championships in 2011, which was later upgraded to a gold medal when the two Russian competitors who'd beaten her had their medals stripped for taking banned drugs. Jenny, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You just heard the RUSADA official. What did you think of what she was saying there?
Yeah, I mean, one of the regulations that WADA did stipulate early on in the reinstatement of Russian athletics was actually that, you know, they actually had to admit that cheating had taken place.
Basically what they're saying, right, is this: the doping systems, what they're running is a shocker, innit? It means people who've been tested in the past in sport have got off with stuff. Now, I just left that little bit in at the end there to show you that people are in sport and they've got off with drug testing past when they've been cheating. Now, whether that's gone into boxing, I don't know. There were rumours for years about Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, but till you've got proof, you don't know. But when people are bigger than the sport, like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and the money earners, all sorts of things happen. I'm not saying for 1 minute that Anthony Joshua is taking steroids. If you go back and look at my other video, you'll see what people are saying about drugs. But it's all speculation till you see the proof. Sometimes you get people that are bigger than the sport. Yeah, Canelo got done for a test, but Canelo also had an extra 6-month wait, which made Golovkin get older. There's all sorts of permutations about what went on there. He only really got a 6-month ban, didn't he? Come on. So, anyway, what I want to say is this: Barry Hearn looks like he's looks to me like he's stopping Joshua fighting Wilder or fighting Tyson Fury. I don't think they're bothered about fighting Fury, but they will do. But they want the lion's share. But they will not fight Wilder at any cost. I told people when Wilder fought at Sheffield, I told people what Barry Hearn were going around saying. Do you know what I mean? But people said I were crazy. That was before Wilder was world champion. Now, it is what it is, innit? Now, I'm going to show you Tyson Fury's record here. I'm going to show you Joshua's record. And then I'm going to show you Wilder's record. Right. Let me get this camera set up. Right. Have a look. Tyson Fury. Well, here's Tyson Fury, right, that's his record there, right. Tyson Fury's 30-year-old, 6'9". He's ranked number 4 in the world. Let's see who's number 3. Povetkin. Now Povetkin's just been beat, hasn't he? Now you'd have thought Povetkin will be losing his number 3 position shortly, but he's just been beat. So you've got to get Joshua Wilder, Tyson Fury number 3. I'd personally have Ortiz at number 3, and I think Dillian White deserves the 4th spot. Tyson's not been active enough, but there you go. Now Joshua has got 770 points. He's only 22-0. Wilder's 40-0. He's got 389. I don't know how that works. Probably because of the people that Joshua's beat. But the first thing I always do in situations like this, I go straight away. I go look at how many world champions that they beat. I know it's a guideline. You don't have to slag me off over it. Now we know we beat Vladimir. That's 1. He was a current champion, he was the man. The other one was Steve Cunningham, a former cruiserweight champion. That is it for Tyson Fury. Yeah, he's got 2 wins over Chisora, but he's got a win over Hamer, who were in his 21st fight. Now I don't see anybody else in his record that's really B class. They're all C class, aren't they? You could say Chisora B class. He gave Vitally a good run for his money, but I thought John McDermott could have got the nod against Tyson. Somebody pointed that out on one of my earlier videos and I'd overlooked it, but yeah, probably. But Tyson performed on the night against Vladimir. The game plan was perfect that Peter Fury set out for him, and he's done well. Now he's done well to lose all that weight. I know myself, because I've been that heavy myself, and I was laid up for a long time and I put loads of weight on. But Tyson fights Wilder on the 1st of December. As you can see, it's on. So all them people who said it were off, like Eddie Hearn and me, were wrong, but they've not fought yet, have they? So, but that's Tyson's record. He's fought 2. He's got 2 wins over world champions. One that was the main man, the undisputed, the Ring Magazine man. The other one was Steve Cunningham, a blown up cruiserweight. Now let's get Deontay Wilder on. Deontay Wilder, box rec. Now his record is worse than Tyson's. He's 40-0, right? Now before he fought for the world title in January 2015, he was 32-0. He won the world title. He was 32-0, I think. Let me have a look. Yep, 32-0 Wilder. Wilder was 32-0. So he'd gone 32 fights against nobodies. Then he fought the world champion in Stavern, who got the belt because it was a vacant belt, so he didn't beat the man Vitally. So he fought Stavern and he went on points and beat him. And he's then gone Eric Molina, knocked him out. Doofus, that's a good win, knocked him out. Spilker, knocked him out. Areola, he retired, but that goes down as a knockout, doesn't it? Gerard Washington, these are all similar guys to what Joshua's fought. You know, your Takams and, you know, people like that. And so your Molinas, he's got Molina there, he's beat him as well. Bermern Stavane, he was a former world champion, so that's his 2nd world title win. Luis Ortiz, now Luis Ortiz was the WBA interim champion. Eddie Hearn never stepped him up for the regular belt because he wanted to keep, he got Luis Ortiz, he signed him to block him. Now when Quigg was the interim champion for the WBA, Eddie Hearn stepped him up straight away for the regular belt, and Scott Quigg drew when he fought for that title, and he was already upgraded, so he had the belt. But on the night of the fight, he drew in it, and Scott Quigg held the belt aloft after the draw. Quite embarrassing, but what bothers me, Eddie didn't try and get Louis Ortiz stepped up. He was an Olympian, a southpaw, and when Eddie had him, I think he was 24-0 or something, wasn't he? 23-0. But Louis Ortiz were never given the world status, but his ability suggested he was a world champion in the making, and he should have been stepped up to champion. Nobody wanted to fight him. Vladimir didn't want to fight him. Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight him because Anthony Joshua struggles against southpaws, struggled against Rob Camarelli. I know people can say he didn't struggle against Charlie Martin, but come on, he's just been voted the worst world champion ever to hold a belt. Now, when he ended up with Eddie Hearn had Ortiz for the Malik Scott fight, and then 13 months later, look at the gap there. Eddie Hearn put him in with Malik Scott in France on the Jamie McDonald undercard, I think it were. And when Jamie McDonald got a gift that night, now Eddie Hearn parked him up then for 13 months and threw him in with David Allen. And then Ortiz was parked up again because he was in dispute with Eddie Hearn. He then came back and fought in Hialeah against Daniel Martes. So look at this here. From March, from leaving Golden Boy and going to Eddie Hearn, he only fought 2 fights against Malik Scott, a B-level guy, 38-2-1, who Chisora beat. I think he beat, yeah. To David Allen, a 9-1-1 journeyman, to Daniel Martz. So he went 2 years, 6 months, 2 fights. So Ortiz, in 2 years, 6 months, fought Scott and Allen. He was the bogeyman of the division. Don't sell a ticket, southpaw, quick, powerful, knocking men out. Nobody wanted to fight him. Joshua was his stablemate. He never fought him, did he? Right. He then fought Wilder and gave him nightmares, and he came back and knocked another guy out. And he's either ranked again. Trust me, he's the real deal, this guy. He's 39-year-old. He is the real deal now. Let's get the other guy up. We've looked at Tyson Fury's record. We've looked at Wilder's record. Let's have a look at Joshua's record now. Anthony Joshua. Now he's the golden boy, isn't he? He's bringing in 100 million a year in 2 boxing fights a year, 100 million, and also he's bringing in, included in that, is all his sponsorship stuff. He is big business. He's flying out to Dubai. There's the Dubai tourism people are sponsoring him. They fly him out there all the time. He's giving a butler. They put him at the top of that big hotel in the middle of the beach in Dubai. He's up at the top of there. He is mollycoddled. He is the real deal now. Obviously we know about he beat Dillian White when Dillian was a novice, 16 fights. He got a gift against Charlie Martin after jumping over from the WBC where he was upgraded to #1. Joshua, he jumped to the IBF. He didn't want the drug testing and he didn't fancy being Wilder's mandatory. He jumped to IBF, he got Charlie Martin, he did well to get that belt. Martin was giving it as a gift, he was a vacant belt, it was took off Tyson. Spilker fell over and did his knee. Al Heyman flexed his muscles, got Martin the belt. He fought Brazil, a 17 fight novice. He then beat Shot to Bits Eric Molina, a part-time school teacher. He fought Vladimir, 18-month settee. Then he fought Takam, a late replacement at 12 days, a B-level guy. Contender, not a champion. He fought Joseph Parker, a world champion for WBO. Parker had never beat a champion. He fought Povetkin, a former regular champion, whose best win was Takam. That's his signature win. He beat him, and I had him 4 rounds to 2 down, Joshua, but the judges didn't. He beat Povetkin, a small guy, smaller in arms, smaller in height and weight, 2 stone lighter. Now Joshua's had a lot of gifts. He's a paper champion. He's never took a belt off the man. He's a paper champion. You work it out for yourself. I want to shout out to the Tea Leaf Company, my sponsor, and I want to shout out to K Official and my pal Rico. So Robin Reed Multivits, Edlington Motors, Ledger Frames, that's where it's at for windows in Doncaster and conservatories. Alright, peace out, keep on trucking and keep on supporting boxing. This has been brought to you by Porky's Corner YouTube. My email is at porkycorner@mail.com. That's for Claire Marsh. Cheers.